everyone, welcome to another episode. In this one we're going to be reacting to the finale for the Pacific called Home. Recap?
So the previous episode took place in Okinawa, and it was mainly centered around Sledge and Snafu kind of traversing, or not traversing, but going through that particular battle. And they had some new recruits with them. Of replacement Marines, basically. And Snafu, there's quite a clever bit where Snafu tricks one of the new guys into giving him a new poncho because he was like the chemicals.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
But that scene actually then causes more problems later on because the Marine then realizes that
it's raining. It's got holes in it. It's raining. He wants to replace it with the one that's covering up the ammo, but in doing so, it's all wet. It's unusable, and they have to go and get some more, and someone loses their life in the process. It's all very.
It just goes downhill from there, basically, because in that little canyon, it's a canyon, but in that little canyon, they're basically fighting. And they're told that they need to push up. So literally the day after they push up.
Yeah.
That scene is probably it's a mad scene because there's a woman. There's Okinawan villagers coming down.
Yeah.
And there's a woman who's trying to give her child away. And the guys are like, they're quite a bit confused by it, and no one's really taking the child. And in the end, she basically just lifts her hands up and she's strapped in to like a dynamite, it's like a human bomb, basically.
Yeah.
And that, it just goes from worse to worse.
And all the civilians are being used as like shields and pushed out, and they're all being sort of been gunned down by the Marines as well at the same time because they don't know who is.
Yeah, you don't know who's a Japanese soldier, who's not. Like, they just, and they did say in the intro that a lot of Okinawan citizens were killed during this particular battle. But I think the whole episode as a whole, it just shows Sledge's. It's just how he's breaking down.
Yeah.
I think there's a very powerful scene where he's asked to bomb a little hut. And then they go past that hut later on and there's a baby crying and they don't actually know whether they want to take it or not. So another officer comes in, takes the baby, says to them like, "What are you doing?" And just as Sledge is leaving, he sees a woman dying. And she's kind of asking him to shoot her to stop the pain.
Yeah.
And there's no words. It's actually brilliantly shot. There's no words in it at all. And he just holds her.
It's kind of a tender moment. Yeah.
Yeah. But then obviously he comes out of that kind of like not a new man, but like kind of it changes him slightly. And I think right at the end of the episode we learn that Hiroshima has been bombed.
Yeah, the H bomb has been dropped.
Yeah.
So essentially the war's over.
Yeah.
So with an episode like this one that's called Home, I'm assuming we're all going back home now, which makes far more pleasant viewing than the ones before. They were all quite gut-wrenching and heartbreaking. But let's see what happens in this finale. Home, let's check it out.
We heard it and they flooded the streets and they were hollering and dancing and carrying on, and we were right there with them, and it was the happiest day. It was the happiest day.
By the time you come out, you're not like you were when you went in.
It was a struggle to try to get it into your mind that you were actually back in the States.
I can remember many a night my father screaming, having a nightmare, and then I would hear my mother's voice trying to calm him down.
Damn.
Insane, isn't it?
It lasted his entire life.
Shit. That's pretty messed up.
That is
August 15th, 1945. St. Albans Military Hospital, Long Island, New York.
All things bow, could take no hold upon him. This way and that did he turn, as he thought of all they had done together and all they had gone through.
Oh, it's Lecky.
Lecky.
The Japs surrendered. The war's over.
The war's over.
God, can you imagine that feeling?
I know that it's too good to be true.
Oh man.
Oh, so obviously they're still out there, of course.
You got to slowly make a plan to get them back, right? You can't just no way to get them all back.
You can't integrate them back into society that quickly. Yeah, it's gonna.
You see that? Line of stars angling up. Yep, that's Snafu's pecker.
What a constellation.
Can't believe it's over, huh?
Well deserved.
What do you do now? Thanks, Lieutenant.
Is that because he was like a bit edgy with them?
I don't think they've spoken about what they do after the war, have they?
No.
Show you what I'm doing now.
Having a drink. Damn, he's drinking a lot of juice.
Oh.
Well, there it is. My first official act of peacetime.
It's that Red Label as well. Not easy.
3 swigs of Red Label and your throat starts going, hey, calm down.
Nothing's changed. I thought the same thing when I got back. Keep the change. I ain't touching that. Might have jumped into Normandy, but at least I got some liberties in London and Paris. You Gyrenes, you got nothing but jungle rot and malaria. Welcome home.
That's nice, man.
Oh, so he was in. Of course, they came back before them, isn't it?
That's a nice bit of respect he showed there.
Yeah. Between the
we
two.
We went through hell, but what you went through is something worse.
Yeah.
I'll clear a corner and make do.
Absolutely not. We will have this place spick and span as always.
Let's give him a moment.
It must be such a surreal feeling to actually be standing in your own home after everything you've been through, regardless of what it looks like.
After not knowing if you're going to make it back in the first place.
Yeah.
I'm Mariel Shelton. How about I take you to the back of the train? You can show me your caboose.
What the fuck? What's he done that for?
Probably thought it would work.
Lied to again. This entire division didn't do that plus 6 months horse shit we did.
They got home a week after VJ Day. Parades, pretty girls.
Well, these guys stayed a hell of a lot longer.
I suppose I'm gonna have to get a job too. First, I gotta get Florence home. Wait, Florence from Melbourne? Guess I'm gonna find out soon enough whether I'm getting married or not. What about you, Sledgehammer?
Romance that worked.
I'm just hoping this Florence girl comes to her senses.
Got a job lined up in Mobile?
No. No job, no girl, no plans.
Oh, it's Barcelona's wife.
Is this Barcelona's place?
I think so.
Yeah, it is. Oh, this is tough.
Mrs. Bazelon. I'm Lena.
Well, come in.
What do you say? What can you say?
Please sit down.
Thank you.
It's a mad thought that she's the daughter-in-law of this household, but you just obviously they got married at a completely different time.
I came by because I thought you should have this.
What is it?
His medal, I think, that he got.
Medal of Honor. I think I was waiting for that. I so messed up.
Just brings it home, innit? The pain's not there.
And there's probably countless and countless of families that have to unfortunately go through that.
Some of them would have just received letters.
Yeah,
That's the harsh reality of it.
I'm wondering when Eugene gets back home.
Brother.
Do you remember in the beginning, Eugene's dad was like, the one thing I had that you noticed, like when the guys fighting came back from the Great War, that it wasn't like the problems they had physically, but it's like they lost their soul when you looked in their eyes. I wonder if he's going to see that when he looks into Eugene's eyes.
True.
Thanks. For doing all you did to keep us from getting our full head shot off.
You're good Marines.
You helped each other.
It's mad, and just like that, you're home. The brother you fought next to is no longer everywhere you go.
Yeah.
The whole room is buzzing. Proud of all you soldiers.
I was a Marine.
I'll take my former position. Why, you still want to cover local sports? Yep. To start with.
That guy you got writing the column right now. Send him to Obits and give me his desk.
When did you see me demoting him and hiring you?
Today's good.
Today.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Kickoff is at 3, so... I better get going. $10 a week raise will do it?
I will give you 7.
I'd have taken 5.
That is bold as fuck. If only everyone could get a job like that. Just go in there and lay your balls on the table.
Yeah, and be like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
I still remember when he was like, I'm going to be fighting by day.
I'm going to take my typewriter. Going to take my typewriter there.
Oh, man.
Up to Vera.
That's Vera.
Okay.
Vera Keller. My God.
Mom.
She never gave you the time of day.
I didn't even think of that. I don't know why I didn't. He's writing in the dark.
No, he had this little desk lamp on.
I know, but
Yeah.
the room light would have been better. Maybe I'm overthinking that.
Crescent City. Home to the Delta Blues and the French Quarter. Watch your wallet. How could you watch it?
What the? That's how you announce New Orleans? What's your wallets? Oh no, wake him up and say bye, man. No, wake him up. Snafu? Oh,
man.
Come on, man. Oh wow, I really thought I was going to...
they would have...
I thought I was going to see some
dialogue.
over-dramatic thing where he wakes up as soon as he's outside and he sees him through the window and says bye, but we've got none of that.
He's proper dressed up.
Yes?
Mrs. Keller.
Welcome home, Robert. Let me just see if she can come to the door.
Go on, Robert. Shoot your shot. Come on, Vera. Look at him, man. He looks smart.
He's proper, yeah, in his uniform. Weren't they writing to each other, though? I can't remember what happened.
I think he was just writing to her.
I was afraid you wouldn't remember me either.
Oh, I remember you. Last time I saw you was in church right before you shipped out.
I've been wondering if you would grant me the pleasure of taking you out.
I have a date tonight. When the doorbell rang, I thought you were him.
Oh, that sucks.
Ooh.
I just graduated from West Point. Lieutenant, congratulations. Too bad you missed the whole show.
Ooh.
I just asked Vera if she'd like to have dinner.
Nice try. She's not interested.
Whoa, buddy.
Actually, I don't have any plans for tomorrow night.
Oh, is that right? Really? Obviously, I've been wasting a lot of gasoline.
Okay, bye-bye, buddy.
Good night, Vera.
Hey, looks like Vera's free tonight.
You're staring.
I'm sorry. No. Actually, I'm not. 3 years ago, in a miserable part of the Pacific, I was laying in the mud, dreaming about a moment like this with you.
I mean, we all know that was true, but isn't that a line and a half?
Yeah.
I think I don't know how to do this.
Bob, you're doing fine. This is fine. It's a start.
You know, I wrote you a lot of letters while I was over there.
You did. I didn't get any.
I never sent them.
Ah, that's why.
I didn't think I was gonna make it, so it didn't matter if I sent them or not.
Well, that's a shame. There were some lovely things written and some bad stuff written.
Yeah, I think some of it was really showing his emotions as they were going through the campaign.
Finally, Eugene back. Hey, Sid!
You gonna take this from me or what? You're saying that Mary Houston is gonna be Mary Houston Phillips?
In the eyes of God and the law.
Well, what am I gonna hear next? The Marshalls landed downtown or setting up a hotel?
I want you to be my best man.
Well, hell yes!
Right here's fine, son.
You sure this is good?
Oh man, I just remember his dog died as well.
Oh yeah.
It's like winning the lottery for them, isn't it? I'm gonna overfeed him. I'm gonna overfeed him, kill him by overfeeding him. That sounds like home, alright. Oh no, is he having
He's the one with the nightmares, yeah.
Oh, it's so heartbreaking for your parents to hear that.
He's a doctor as well. That makes it harder.
Because remember, he did say that's what he saw in other men.
Mm.
In the boys that came back. Oh, do you think those two women speaking they were his wife and kid?
Could be, yeah. Yeah. I don't understand what that red banner is, and it's got 2 stars on it. I don't know if that's the number of... you'll see it in the window here. I don't know if that's the number of people that have enlisted or if they've lot. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that before. Everybody's got one.
I don't believe I will ever put on a uniform again.
Oh.
Wow.
Ever.
Fair play.
I suppose it's a time that he doesn't want to remember because he's already haunted by it on a daily basis.
Exactly. Sees it in his nightmares every night.
You looking to register for classes, Mr. Sledge?
I'm thinking about it.
Any journalism?
None at all.
Any engineering, technical skills?
Had to handle explosives.
Is there anything the Marine Corps taught you that you can continue at Bantam Poly?
Not transferable skills, is it?
They taught me how to kill chaps. I got pretty damn good at it.
He's not wrong there.
She put it across like, isn't there anything useful?
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously, you can't say that to a Marine that's just come back.
Thing is, you wouldn't have had time to even, like, at least with Lecky, he was a bit of a journalist. He was a journalist before he left.
Yeah. Eugene's a little bit disconnected, right?
He's finding it hard to integrate.
Yeah.
I saw you making a break for it. Thought you could use a punch properly spiked.
I mean, look at us, Sid. Sitting here to dance, drinking punch. Not a scratch on either of us.
He survived.
Why did I end up back here when all those other fellas didn't?
Sometimes wounds are not physical, they're psychological.
Survivor's guilt.
You just gotta pull yourself out of bed in the morning and get on with the day.
I hear what Sid's saying, you just gotta force yourself.
There isn't but 2 hours of programs, and they're asking $300 a set.
Shot through an electron gun onto a vacuum screen.
Always with the answers. It's called the cathode ray tube.
CRTs.
So you think you're going down to Murphy's to get yourself a television set? Well, there aren't any. Nothing's being delivered. Why?
You say $300 for a TV?
It's quite a lot in those days.
It's quite a lot. I mean, there's still $300.
Yeah.
Bob, we all appreciate the sacrifice you made on our account. You know what I fought for?
Television.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses.
Amen.
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 Hook, line, and sinker.
If he's going to be able to fight, like...
Oh no, he's happening right now.
I'm sorry. I can't.
It's all right.
Like he just wants nothing to do with violence or anything, isn't it? Like it scarred him.
Can you blame him?
No, not at all.
Your brother's coming for supper this evening. Evidently, he's been named some kind of supervisor at the bank.
Better get our money out of that bank.
You need to make a plan for the future.
My plan is to do nothing for a while.
Frank, you have no idea what men like him have been through. Now go on. Let him be.
I was gonna say, but then, would you want to tell her what your son had to go through? Probably not.
Yeah. Can you imagine to explain to your mum why you're digging for gold in Japanese soldiers' teeth? Like, it's not something you'd say to them.
No. Oh, cool. He earned a PhD in biology, then spent a career teaching at the University of Montevallo in Alabama. Well done.
That's impressive.
Eugene eventually wrote his memoir with the old breed at Peleliu in Okinawa, which was published in 1981. Survived by his wife, 2 sons, 3 grandchildren. Eugene died in 2001. Wow. I forgot he kept a stack of notes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky. That looks quite similar.
Yeah.
He married Vera. Yay! 1946.
Finally.
Correspondent for the Associated Press. Barcelona.
It's taken too soon.
Yeah.
It does look like him a little bit.
Yeah. Posthumous Navy Cross and Purple Heart for his actions on Iwo Jima. Since 1945, stamps have been issued with his likeness and ships, and highways have been christened in his honor. That's amazing.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
He's remembered every year with a parade in his hometown of Raritan, New Jersey. That's brilliant. That's Lena Barcelona.
That's yeah.
Sort
looks
of.
okay.
It's told on her 32nd birthday that her husband had killed in Iwo Jima. 32nd birthday. 7 months.
Wow.
Only after been married for 7 months. She never remarried and died in 1999. Man. Snafu. Well, sort of.
Similar. Very similar.
Stayed in Louisiana, worked in the lumber business, married and had 2 sons. Nice. He did not speak with his fellow Marines for over 35 years until he read Sledge's book with the old breed at Peleliu in Okinawa. Oh, damn. He served as a pallbearer at Snafu's funeral. Sledge.
Man.
And Lewis Chesty
Hey, what
Puller.
happened to him?
We didn't see him after like the first few of the.
No.
One of the most decorated Marines in the history of the Corps. His extraordinary career spanned from World War I through Korea.
Wow.
Chesty Puller retired in 1955 and passed away in 71. Damn. Awarded a Bronze Star for his service on Iwo Jima. I remember when, after the war, he designed and drove race cars. He lives in Stockton, California. Oh, wow.
Oh, he's the one. Oh, so they're showing them at the end as well.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Married his Australian sweetheart, Florence, in Jewett, Texas in 1947. They have 4 daughters. Well done.
Oh, that's him.
They still
Okay,
call
yeah.
Texas home.
So these are the people that they show in
Yeah.
the introductions.
Sidney Phillips and Mary Houston Phillips raised 3 children. Became a doctor, practiced medicine in Alabama for 38 years. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was him. Okay.
Sid and Eugene remained best friends for the remainder of Sledge's life. Sid still lives in a small town outside Mobile. And that's the end of the show. Thoughts?
I think as a series, as a whole, that was one of the hardest series to watch.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever watched anything as rough as this.
Yeah.
Every episode you're just getting punched in the stomach.
I think I will say, and I've said this throughout the entire series, the way this has been shot, cinematography wise, is fantastic. Locations, the way they depict the stories that they've told, in terms of like John's story, for example. The whole episode was just about him and Lena, and then they show you the snippet right at the end that punches you in the stomach. It's things like that, or whether they were on set and not on set, but like Sledge's bits when they're kind of fighting through canyons, or they're like just like knee deep in mud. These things like that, like they really get you. The fighting conditions were absolutely horrendous. Nothing like what we saw in Band of Brothers. It's not even comparable. It's just a brutal battle.
God, I remember watching Band of Brothers thinking this thing is brutal, and this is just not.
Yeah, I think in Band of Brothers, I think one of the episodes that hit home. I'm not comparing the two, but as in the concentration camp episode, which was episode 9, I think it was. That was hard. That was very hard to watch. This season, in its own right, has been hard from episode 2 onwards, in the sense that we actually did not think it was like that in the Pacific. I think I learned more about the European campaign as a child than I did in the Pacific campaign. But the Pacific campaign seems, because it obviously started relatively, obviously after Pearl Harbor, but it didn't realize it was like this at all. It's really eye-opening, even though it's
from the conditions to the climate, from
psychologically what it does to
disease to enemy tactics. It's a completely different, completely different story as to what it does to a human being physically and mentally. It's messed up. And then they had a little nugget in there of that episode of where Lecky meets we'll call her Sheila, and we have that little moment. I'm glad he ended up with Vera.
Yeah, I think I'm glad. When he first met her, he was kind of like a bit, I wouldn't say naive, but like a bit kind of umming and ahhing. And then when he goes back to meet her after the war, he's like, "This is what I want," and you can tell, obviously. I mean, he's been through so much. He doesn't care about how he comes across now. It's not very unapologetically himself. Yeah.
Which everyone should be in life anyway.
I think also in this season is when people return home from the war, there was always like a sense, like when we've seen it in other movies or whatever, there's always like, oh, they'll, you know, they worked for 40 years, they did this. This actually shows how hard it was for certain people, in the sense that they didn't just bounce back and go into being a cab driver, and actually, if you think about it, really think about it, these people risk their lives to only come back and do normal jobs. Normal in the sense that, like, you know, taxi drivers, that, you know, some of them did go on to study and have PhDs, but it's just insane. Like, you wouldn't
trying to go back into normal life, you mean?
Into society.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I think it was probably like, it's much harder because they've gone through war and they don't have the right skill set because they've spent a large portion of the earlier years in war.
Yeah.
A time that would be used to gain skills or gain education into whatever they're doing. So one can only hope that they were helped. Veterans were helped in their life going forward. But you do hear stories of where veterans aren't really looked after as well as they should be. Yeah, great show overall.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, really. And you know what? I was like, okay, the start of this episode is like, this one's called Home. We know we're not fighting anymore. We know everyone's back home. This is going to be a happy episode, and it was just as heartbreaking. So many moments from watching Eugene go through PTSD to see like that Lecky being like, you know, that sort of bit where he's a bit shaky. Snafu not saying bye properly. Lena visiting John's parents. That entire scene is just gut wrenching as well.
But I think it's brilliant because they've tied off all the stories. They literally
and they've done it realistically. It's not you know, all rainbows
it's not like
and daisies, whatever. You know, it's real life.
A brilliant show.
Yeah. Great episode, great show. You can take a deep breath now. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What did you think of this episode and the show and our reaction to it? But other than that, please like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one. See ya. No, I'll do that again.
I look like a weirdo. Oh, bye. Also, do you want to mention the Chernobyl thing?
Oh yeah, could do, great episode and great show. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What did you think of the episode, show, and our reaction to it? We're waiting for Masters of the Air to continue on, but we don't unfortunately have a release date for it yet. But when it does, when we do get a date and a trailer and it comes out, we will be reacting to it. But we wanted to keep sort of a realistic, sort of historical theme to Fridays, technically. So starting next week, we'll be checking out Chernobyl. Hopefully you can stick around for that. But other than that, please like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one. See ya.